Chuck, I started dancing in 1970. They call it wiggling, worming. They were swinging their arms, breaking down, you know. In 2005, we danced at the Hip Hop Dance Fest, the Black Messengers. It was real good.
My name is Sal Barcena. I'm in GroovMekanex right now. I'm one of the few and only actual locking groups out there practicing the art of locking. We're going to be performing at the San Francisco Hip Hop Dance Fest. Our performance is going to show the San Francisco element, the whole strut and feel, yet we have our locking bases. I grew up primarily in the Mission District of San Francisco. That area was a little rough. Walking home after school and I see a bunch of dudes, kind of facing off with each other. Crowd of people just like getting around, behind, around them. And I'm like, oh shoot, something's happening. I was like 16 at the time. I thought it was gonna be a gang fight. Somebody pulled out a boombox, started hitting the music. Next thing you know, instead of blows being thrown, it was like dancing, boom. They're like locking. And they're calling each other out, strutting and doing all that. And it turned out being something really positive and, entertaining. Folks, came out with some creations right off, the elements and environments they were growing up in. And we're talking about things that were not learned in a studio.
Boogaloo is like martial arts. You got so many styles in martial arts, right? They had that Dinorama style, the older generation group 1+1. If you ever look at like the Million Miles to Earth or Seven Voyages of Sinbad, that animated style that them creatures be doing, that's what they brought to the table and added to the Boogaloo too. They call it wiggling, worming, breaking down. That style, just strictly Oakland.
Yeah, Fillmore, what we looked at was more kind of an aggressive call-out move. We were coming out, a freestyle movement, we're ready to challenge somebody. We're out there reaching to grab them and do all kinds of stuff to them. Damn, but we knew it came from like the Fillmore district in San Francisco.
I seen the baddest dancers that I would see in my life back then. Oakland cats was like the bomb. When you see them, you gonna go home and tell your mother about them. Even though it went to San Francisco, Richmond called it Richmond Robot. LA called it pop locking and popping. They say they hit the hits, but they do it a little different from how we hit. We swing our arms, stopping, breaking down, coming up, stopping again, That's one of old Oakland's signature moves when they started doing their arms. Well, the ticking is, we called it 3D because it was like, boom, 1, 2, boom, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It was 3D. So that's how we did ticking. We could come out and hang with these dancers today, the young ones. Boogaloo was ahead of its time back when they was doing it back then.